know, the last couple of nights, I became very aware when I was getting ready to go to bed at night that I was thinking to myself, why did that happen? And being aware of it for those couple of nights, I became more aware of the fact that how often I do that. How often I say to myself, why didn't that happen? Why did that happen? Wow. And then there's the third question, taking responsibility for what did or did not happen and asking myself, what could I have done differently? uh, I realized very strongly in the last couple of nights that I have been there frequently. It wasn't just then. And my guess is, so have you. There are so many of us that need answers to our personal questions, and not just the few that I mentioned. I mean, there are so many. We need answers to find our purpose, to add meaning to our lives, to our relationships, and on and on and on. And when I really got to pondering this a little bit, I became more and more aware that not every one of us has accepted or trusts a mentor or a guide to show them the path. And then I had to ask, what's the solution? How do we get answers to our life's question? And of course, yes, we have that intuition, but there is more. We have the gift of our true spiritual self, our divine nature. So often we find ourselves looking for the answers over and over, and we ask ourselves questions and wonder how we're ever going to overcome the seeming challenging obstacles. And my guess is, like me, the frequent question is, why me? It was interesting because a couple of days ago on Facebook, somebody quoted Michael Beckwith, and it said, behind every problem is a question trying to ask itself. Behind every question is an answer to be revealed. Behind every answer is an action trying to take place, and behind every action is a way of life trying to be born. It really resonated with me, and it gave me that open mind to recognize, yes, you and I do seek answers. We seek answers to life's questions. The seeming problems, you bet. And each one of us always wants to open the door to new opportunities. And no matter how young or old we believe we are, we want to open that door to new opportunities, new experience. Yes, to share miracles and enthusiasm in life. And a lot of us question our world purpose. However, to be honest, we often react in the wrong way. We ask, why can't I get past these seeming obstacles? Only we don't say seeming. Why can't I get past these obstacles? Why me? Do I have them? Why am I stuck in this seeming negative and repetitive labyrinth? Yes, now we're sharing a fear-based energy and question after question after question. Been there? I know I'm not alone. You've been focused on a problem. So have I. We've had a concern that appeared to be so convoluted that a solution seemed beyond our ability. And I'll be honest, it's happened to me more than once. It truly has. And whenever I would enter into that space, it would be like I actually entered a downward spiral of negative attitudes and emotions. Fortunately, most of the time now, I have learned to recognize and acknowledge what I am doing. I have learned to take a couple of deep breaths in, change my focus, and give myself permission that I can and will see things differently. I know that sounds simplistic, but yes, I now search for and affirm the positives. My go-to question is consistent. Holy Spirit, what is this teaching me? What is this bringing into my awareness? Why do I question it? What is the lesson? What are the positives? By using this practice repetitively in day-to-day experiences and in those experiences that I perceive as what the heck? Yeah. Those two, yes. It has brought me to a willingness to open my heart mind. It has brought me to a willingness to recognize that higher energy and vibration within my heart mind, to center in faith and find answers in my heart. The solution, truthfully, has come to tune into my faith. Ask the guide within. It has brought me to an awareness that today, or this moment, is the time, the day, and I'll recognize more of myself, the truth of myself. So often, we have looked for answers here, there, and everywhere. And where are they? Yes, in the heart. That is the right place. It is our place where we give up the why me. Each one of us, I'm not making up a story here, has been called to this time in the material world. We're not here by accident. We may question it, we may not understand it, but I remember reading that St. Francis de Sales felt that all people in all walks of life are called by our God to a devout life, and that this type of living was possible and wonderful. And I also believe, as the Course in Miracles teaches us, that God's will for us is happiness. So, with this understanding and this awareness, I have to give myself permission to recognize that I have the energy. We have the energy, the creativity within us to do so. Yes, the answers of how, when, and where, they're answered within us, within our heart mind. So we must give ourselves permission to recognize the importance of going within and asking. Yeah, but I've been super busy lately. Meditation time? Oh, that's tough. Staying awake when meditating is tough. Hearing answers when I am so busy? Oh yeah, that's tough. Anybody agree with that? Yeah. Going back to St. Francis, he said, half an hour's meditation each day is essential, except when you are busy. Then a full hour is needed. So what has happened for me in this process, yes, I'm not a youngster anymore. I have to take responsibility and respond with God's ability. So I asked for another way. Our meditations, 2, 3, 4, 5 times a day with a question, doesn't fit into my schedule very well. So I now use another way. I accept that an eternal spirit of love is in us, all sharing a never-ending possibility, a possibility to create a difference in us and thus in our world. So we'll be working for equality and for peace. And yet, the bottom line is, all we have to do is ask. As I said before, remember, God's will for us is happiness. And when we share the coherence of an open mind and an open heart, we are going to share the energy and the strength to choose and accept peace. Within that peaceful space, we will experience faith in our true self. And when we do that, we will willingly follow the voice of Holy Spirit. Yes, we gratefully accept our spiritual integrity. We accept our holiness. We accept our purity. We have affirmed our self-awareness. That self-awareness shares a space where everything flows gently and there's a willingness to accept the guidance. In the flow state, 90% of the traffic is from your heart to the brain and only 10% from the brain to the heart. That confirms that the heart is more powerful than the brain. That is why we go with our faith into the heart. And to begin, we must recognize our call to be mindful, because that's what life with a capital L wants us to do now. Yes. When we have that willingness, life will express through us. So, are you willing to say yes? Are you willing to let life do its work? Are you willing to be here now? Ram Dass said, let each breath you take bring you deeper into that center, just into the quiet place, the timeless place, the spaceless place. Imagine being present in that timeless, spaceless energy, open to all that is possible. Are you being called? Called forth deep inside to a new way of being? You know, my perception is that that call is consistent. It's truly our path to empowerment and awakening. Give yourself a minute and just imagine living in a state of being where you are secure within your faith, your trust in your own reality. Imagine living daily, more time in a state of harmony, clarity, being in the flow peacefully. Okay, there's the but. I hear it. With so many distractions pulling you in different directions, it can seem challenging. And I'm right with you in that. It does seem challenging from time to time to drop below the noise, the distraction, and access that deeper truth within you. You might also be struggling with addictive behavior patterns. Oh yeah, love sweets. Yeah, that's one of them. Easy for me to slip into. But there are other addictive patterns and self-limiting beliefs, and we have manifested those. And it gives us this consistent state of seeming separation. And the problem lies in the confusion about who we truly are. The good news is that there is a clear pathway that leads us, that is lit for us, and leads us out of this seeming distressing confusion, distraction, disconnection, however you want to term it, whatever you want to call it. When we permit ourselves to have an open heart, an open mind, and engage in the spiritual truth within, we realize the true beauty and the wholeness that we are. Now we will begin to accept that there is an ego attitude of lack and limitation. And once we accept that, we can begin to heal it because we have recognized it, and in recognize it, we have a willingness to let it go. Today would be good. We'll accept that transformation so that we can be free. Yes, the time is ours. We take that breath and say thank you. We go to our open heart. We take that breath and we say thank you. And now we ask the question. Maybe, what gifts have I been called to give to the world? Or, how am I to share the gifts I've been given? Or, what learning and teaching opportunity am I ready for? What is my first step today? My first step today, so that I can be truly helpful. What is a wake-up call I'm supposed to answer today? How do I share love with myself? What habits must I change? What ego thought patterns must I forgive? Question after question after question, we all have them. And after you ask a question, whether it's one of these or another one, whenever you ask that question, pause. Take that deep breath in. Be open and listen. Yes, it goes without saying that you need to distance yourself from any distractions when you're in this process. But once you really listen to that inner voice, you'll find that you know the answers to life's questions that have been aching inside your heart. And now you can say with enthusiasm, with honesty, you can say yes to life. What we are called to do will express through each of us. So we must say that yes. We must let our life follow a new way of being as peace awakens in heart and mind and shares a lit path of empowerment and self-awakening and awareness. Imagine having the faith to be present and open to all that is possible. Imagine. Imagine living in a state of being where you are secure and trust in your own spiritual reality. Now you have the sense of great possibilities for actualizing the power and creativity that lies within you. You might wish to align with your authentic needs and boundaries with ease so that you can feel nourished and empowered each day. You may long to live more of the time in a state of harmony, clarity, and flow. Yes. When you engage in this powerful practice of self-inquiry within your heart-mind, it does not need to take a half hour or an hour. There are times that we do meditate for a half hour. There are times we do share in heartfelt prayer and meditation for an hour. I understand that. But we can have another way also. And I am telling you, it works. When we share and engage in this powerful practice of self-inquiry within our heart-mind, we directly experience a deeper truth, the validity of our spiritual self. And this gives us all the keys that we have thought hidden or we didn't know where we left them, gives us all those keys to break free from the limiting constructs that seem to keep you trapped. When you realize the true beauty and the wholeness that lies in your own core, you will heal the wounds of lack and limitation. And when you accept your faith in this process, when you do this practice affirming your essential spiritual being, you will experience a deeper awareness, a deeper acceptance and transformation that really sets you free. Free to live with an open mind, free to live with a heart affirming faith in divine guidance and direction. Yes, now you are aware that you are truly finding answers in the heart, and that is your faith. Finding answers in the heart. Now repeat after me. The light of an open mind.
The light of an open mind.
And an open heart.
And an open heart.
Is shining in me.
Shining in me.
Through me.
Through me.
And as me.
As me.
I gratefully listen, listen, listen.
I gratefully listen
to my heart song, and
my
I accept divinely guided answers.
I accept divinely guided answers.
Yes, thoughts, words, actions, and reactions. Those thoughts, words, actions, and reactions now will radiate. They will radiate light, love, and peace. So before we go into meditation, we're going to share one of my favorite pieces of music written by Paramahansa Yogananda.